It seems pretty odd when a person that you know needs constant attention all of the time suddenly goes radio silent, right? A narcissist can stop calling, texting, showing up at the drop of a hat. They can ignore you, like getting up and walking out of the room as if you're not even there, walking past you like you're a ghost and they don't even see you. Cutting communication is a hallmark of immaturity, impulsivity, and of course, narcissism. So let's go over why a narcissist chooses to flat out ignore you. Number one, you're ignored because, come on, who doesn't love a good chase? People with high levels of narcissism are going to chase, of course, but a lot of them actually want to be chased as well. For a narc, being chased makes them feel very special. They like that, feeling wanted and important. They can go radio silent in order to try to prompt you to begin chasing them. Now, they might not go completely silent, but what they're probably going to do is pull back some of their attention. They might not necessarily respond to you right away. They might not take your calls. Again, those text messages will get slower responses with far less enthusiasm. They basically throw the ball into your court and say, chase me, chase me. Number two, you're given a silent treatment because you need a dose of what I call you don't matter. This can happen a lot if the narcissist feels like maybe you're getting a little too big for your own britches, so to speak. If a narc feels like you're getting arrogant or cocky, basically acting like them, they're going to punish you for it. Silent treatments are typically done to administer punishment for something you've done that has pissed them off, something fierce. And those lists of things you can do are actually quite plentiful. But they also can do this if they feel like you kind of need to be knocked down off of your high horse and made to feel small and insignificant. Number three, I'm tying this in here with number two. Silence lowers your self-esteem and your confidence. We just talked about being knocked down a peg or two. And when this happens again and again, you're devalued and you're ghosted and ignored. It does make you feel very unheard, unwanted, and your confidence and self-esteem really do just take a complete hit and they go right into the garbage. Ironically, this treatment lowers how we feel about ourselves, but yet actually helps ensure, in a lot of cases, that we don't actually feel good and powerful enough to leave the relationship. So in essence, the crappier we feel in the relationship, higher the probability that we won't actually leave and go somewhere else. If you'd like to talk with me one-on-one, I invite you to chat with me. You can get comfort and support about your situation from a fellow survivor. Links and information to get started are down in the video description. Number four, they go dark in order to reestablish control. If you begin to stand up for yourself, you're going to try to insert yourself and talk about boundaries and, hey, I'm not going to accept this. This is not something I'm going to deal with. And you try to break away or basically do like anything other than being a complete brainless zombie, you're going to sometimes get an abrupt silence from a narc. Silence is a very mean, cruel thing to do to a person, as we obviously know. Narcs also know this, and it's used to their advantage. It can make a victim upset, and then what happens is sometimes you begin to back down. And narcs will frequently do things like this as a stark reminder to a person that, hey, just so you know, I'm the one who's really in charge here. You see how I just stopped texting you and walked away? Yeah, remember I can do that whenever I want. And it lets everybody know who's really in charge because they really need that to be able to feel good about themselves. Number five, a narcissist will ignore you when they just really don't want to deal. Let's face it, there are a lot of things in life that are not very fun. We get sick, we can get serious illnesses, lose jobs, lose homes, loved ones, furry loved ones. Bad things happen, and when they do, you're going to notice a narcissist will probably not be around for that. In fact, they'll probably be as far away from you as they can possibly get. When we're having a hard time or going through something, narcs have no plans of being there for you, to console you, maybe help you make decisions with things, or whatever it is that you might need, or let's definitely not talk about what you want. helping you with wants and needs not on their priorities list. Similarly, if you need help with things for the holidays, a big party, your children, maybe you have older folks in your family or community and they need help or anything, you're going to find the narc increasingly absent. They just don't want to deal with things that, number one, don't revolve around them, and number two, things that require them to be selfless and think about what somebody else might want or need. Also, important dates like your birthday, you might get a frosty reception from a narc. They might ignore you or ghost you, and it becomes very transparent, especially when things happen like an illness. You know, you get the flu, so you find they vanish for like a week. I know because this happened to me. They dip off for a few days or a week, and then you get that one little text that goes, "Are you feeling better?" And then, of course, if you say, "No, not really," they drop off again. And if you say, "Yeah, I'm feeling better," "Hey, well, we should get together again soon." Read between the lines and look at your calendar and see when they go and when they decide to come back. And it all becomes very, very obvious and very easy to catch. Number 6, you're ghosted because it causes panic. Panic can set in when a person just very quickly stops talking to you. If a narc ignores you or ghosts you, it can really absolutely strike fear, especially if you are heavily trauma bonded and heavily addicted to this person. Sometimes fear is that the narcissist won't return. That's what sometimes can give people those really uncomfortable feelings. Fear and panic can have us obsessively calling or texting the narc. "Where are you? What's happening? What's going on? Why aren't you talking to me? What did I do? Look, I'm sorry if I did something." Maybe you've even sent text messages like that or left voice messages like that. You don't know where they are. You don't know what they're thinking, what they're doing, why they've left. It strengthens the trauma bond, and it also strengthens the addiction. And that's just what it is. So essentially, you're addicted, and now what you need and what you want so desperately is gone. You get so uncomfortable. You can cry, get angry, both, panic, but then right when you're just at your lowest, at your darkest, at your worst, here they are. And they grace you with their presence, and then boom, there it is. That rush of endorphins, the feel-goods, the hormones, the everything, and it all comes flooding in. Even if they come back and you have an argument about what they've done, it will feel so good. And when things like that happen, obviously, it's very confusing. And a lot of victims have a hard time working out why they're feeling so good, even though they're fighting with this person. You can get addicted to fighting. You can get addicted to them running off and leaving, being silent. You're all worrying and upset, and then they come back and you do it over and over and over again. It's the trauma bond, which does get stronger the longer you're with the person. Number 7, they ignore you to basically get a dose of supply. Narcs can and will ignore you when they're looking for a fight, an ego boost, or they honestly just want to bully somebody and just knock them down a little bit. They ignore you until you say something snotty to them, and then before you know it, it's a war. A war that the narcissist wanted in the first place. A lot of times we'll get baited into things like this and we don't even realize it. The narc will pretend to be mad about something, or more likely, we know how angry they are about the most trivial bullshit of things, and they'll be angry about it, choose to ignore you, which can then lead to a huge blowout and a huge argument. The narcissist might even do this and then discard you with every intention of hoovering, which is kind of what we just talked about a moment ago, just for something to do, just for something interesting. They need a dose of supply. They need an ego boost. Number 8. Of course, they're going to go dark when the new flavor shows up. New supply is really one of the most common reasons why you're getting ignored. They know that they can. That's really what this all boils down to. They know they can ignore you, so they do. They know you'll tolerate the silence. They know that you'll stick around. So really, why whatever is happening to you is because they know, or they feel anyway, that you're going to continue to allow it. Now, did I forget any other reasons why a narcissist completely ignores you? If I did, let me know what it is down in the comments. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.